They made us laugh, stumble, and salute through chaos, the unforgettable cast of Police Academy, 1984 to 1994. But behind the comedy, time has taken its toll. Some of these once vibrant stars are no longer with us. Who among the squad still stands today, and who has already faded into memory? How have their lives unraveled since the sirens went silent? The truth may be more tragic than the jokes they left behind. Bubba Smith, the towering presence of Police Academy, known for his role as the gentle yet intimidating Moses Hightower, was born on February 28, 1945. When he first appeared in Police Academy in 1984, he was 39 years old, already a well-known figure in American sports and entertainment. Before stepping into Hollywood, Smith had gained national fame as a professional football player in the NFL, playing for the Baltimore Colts, Oakland Raiders, and Houston Oilers, even winning Super Bowl V. His athletic build and commanding height of 6.7 made him an unforgettable on-screen presence, particularly in a comedic franchise where his physicality became both a source of power and humor. Beyond Police Academy, Smith appeared in series like Good Times, Charlie's Angels, Half Nelson, and movies such as Black Moon Rising. Yet, despite his visibility, his acting career never fully took off outside the Hightower role, leaving him typecast as the Giant rather than a versatile actor. This limitation became a quiet frustration, a kind of professional tragedy compared to the limitless promise of his NFL career. Financially, Smith accumulated wealth from both sports and acting with an estimated net worth of around $2 million at the time of his death. However, unlike many of his peers, he never flaunted a glamorous Hollywood lifestyle. He never married and had no children, a detail that left his personal life marked by solitude. He owned property in Los Angeles, where he spent most of his later years living quietly and largely outside the limelight. But his life ended abruptly and tragically. On August 3, 2011, Bubba Smith was found dead in his Los Angeles home at the age of 66. The cause was an overdose of phentermine, a weight loss drug, complicated by heart disease and high blood pressure. His passing was a shock, underscoring the irony that a man once celebrated for his physical strength had been quietly battling health issues. Today, his memory lingers not only as Hightower, the gentle giant of Police Academy, but also as a man whose career and personal life were filled with both triumph and tragedy. George Gaines, forever remembered as the bumbling yet oddly endearing Commandant Eric Lassard in Police Academy, 1984-1994, was born on May 16, 1917. When he first appeared in the franchise's debut film in 1984, he was 66 years old, already a seasoned stage and screen actor with decades of experience behind him. His portrayal of Lassard, a clueless but lovable leader, quickly became a cornerstone of the series, balancing slapstick comedy with a strangely dignified charm. Gaines's career stretched far beyond Police Academy. He gained recognition on television as foster father Henry Warnemont in Punky Brewster, and appeared in films such as Tootsie 1982 and The Way We Were 1973. His versatility made him a familiar face, though he was often confined to supporting roles rather than the leading man status his talent might have warranted. This in a way was a bittersweet reality of his career, respected, widely known, but never fully in the spotlight he deserved. By the time of his retirement, Gaines had earned steady financial security with an estimated net worth of around $5 million. Unlike many Hollywood figures, his personal life was marked by stability. He was married to actress Ellen Ann McClary for over 5 decades until her death, and together they had 2 children. Yet tragedy struck deeply his daughter. Aya Gaines tragically died in a car accident in 1989, a devastating blow that haunted him for the rest of his life. In later years, Gaines lived quietly, enjoying the comforts of family and his home in North Bend, Washington. His career may have slowed, but his presence in Police Academy reruns and beloved shows like Punky Brewster ensured he remained a fond memory for fans worldwide. George Gaines passed away on February 15, 2016 at the remarkable age of 98. His death was a natural causes, the quiet end of a long, eventful life. Today he is remembered not just as Commandant Lassard, the hilariously confused leader, but also as an actor whose journey carried both triumph and the sorrow of personal loss, a man who brought laughter to millions while enduring his own private grief. Andrew Rubin, remembered by fans of Police Academy in the 1984 as Cadet George Martin, the smooth-talking prankster with a mischievous charm, was born on June 22, 1946. When he appeared in the very first Police Academy film, he was 37 years old, bringing to life a character whose quick wit and playful antics added levity to the ensemble cast. Though he only appeared in the original film, Rubin left a lasting impression embodying the archetype of the clever trickster among the cadets. Before and after Police Academy, Rubin built a respectable career in television. He starred in the short-lived sitcom Shazam. 1974 appeared in Mary Hartman 1976-77, and held guest roles in popular shows like The Rockford Files, Magnum, P.I., and Dragnet. Despite his talent, Rubin never managed to secure the breakout stardom that seemed within reach during the height of his career. Typecasting and the unpredictability of Hollywood left him often on the fringes of frustration that shadowed his otherwise steady work as a character actor. Financially, Rubin lived modestly compared to many of his peers. At the time of his later years, his net worth was estimated around $1 to $2 million, enough to sustain a comfortable lifestyle, but far from the fortunes of Hollywood's biggest names. He never married and had no children, a personal path that, while granting him independence, also left his later life quieter and more solitary than many of his contemporaries. Behind the scenes, Rubin endured struggles with the volatility of an acting career, often facing the disappointment of short-lived projects and roles that failed to fully showcase his abilities. These setbacks contributed to a career tinged with the feeling of missed opportunities, a poignant reminder of how Hollywood can both elevate and marginalize talent. Andrew Rubin's life ended tragically early. He died on October 5, 2015 at the age of 69 after battling lung cancer. His death marked the loss of an actor who had given audiences moments of laughter and clever charm, even if his career never reached the heights it might have. Today, Rubin is remembered fondly by Police Academy fans as George Martin, the witty cadet, who, for one shining film, brought humor and mischief to the screen. David Graff, immortalized in the Police Academy franchise as the gun-obsessed, trigger-happy cadet, Eugene Tackleberry, was born on April 16, 1950. When he first strapped on his oversized arsenal in Police Academy, 1984, he was 34 years old. Tackleberry quickly became one of the series' most recognizable and beloved characters, a parody of America's gun culture, delivered with wide-eyed enthusiasm and comic intensity. For fans, he was both absurd and oddly endearing, a man who treated every situation like a battlefield. Beyond Police Academy, Graff carved out a steady career as a character actor. He appeared in films like Guarding Tess, 1994, and Rules of Engagement, 2000, and guest starred in a wide range of television shows, including Seinfeld's Star Trek Voyager, The West Wing, and Touched by an Angel. Despite his talent and versatility, he was often typecast in roles that leaned on his imposing presence and booming energy. Hollywood gave him work, but rarely the chance to break free from comedic stereotypes, a professional limitation that weighed heavily even as fans adored his Tackleberry persona. Financially, Graff enjoyed a comfortable life with an estimated net worth of about $2 million at the time of his death. He was married to Catherine Graff, with whom he shared 2 sons, and his personal life appeared grounded compared to the chaos of Hollywood. Yet behind the laughter, there were struggles, the constant grind of auditioning, the insecurity of an actor's income, and the bittersweet reality that he was remembered more for parody than for the depth of his craft. Tragedy struck suddenly and cruelly. On April 7, 2001, just days before his 51st birthday, David Graff died of a massive heart attack while attending a family wedding in Phoenix, Arizona. His death was a shocking reminder of life's fragility. One moment he was celebrating, the next, he was gone. Fans and colleagues alike mourned the loss of a man who had brought so much humor, warmth, and energy to the screen. Today, David Graff's legacy lives on through the enduring popularity of Police Academy. While his career carried both triumph and typecasting, his portrayal of Tackleberry remains a cultural touchstone, ensuring he is remembered not only for the laughter he sparked, but also for the tragic brevity of a life and career cut short. Deborah Lee Scott, remembered by Police Academy fans as Cadet Fackler's eccentric and accident-prone wife in the 1984 film, was born on April 5, 1953. Just 31 years old when she stepped into the role she brought to the screen, her signature blend of quirky humor and chaotic energy, turning even small scenes into unforgettable comedic moments. Though her role in the franchise was brief, it captured the same offbeat charm that had defined much of her career. Scott had already built a recognizable presence on television before Police Academy. She was a regular on Mary Hartman 1976 and 77, as Kathy Shumway appeared in Angie 1979 Barrier 80, and often showed up in sitcoms like Welcome Back, Kotter. She also gained exposure as a frequent panelist on game shows such as Match Game and $20,000 Pyramid. Despite her comedic talent and lively screen presence, her career was uneven. She was often relegated to supporting roles, a reality that left her on the margins of Hollywood fame. Her personal life, however, bore the weight of tragedy. In 2001, her fiancé, New York City police officer John Dennis Levi, died while responding to the 9/11 attacks. The loss devastated her and marked the beginning of a steep decline in her health and spirit. Though she had once lived comfortably with modest financial stability, her net worth estimated at around $1 million, her later years were overshadowed by grief, and she largely withdrew from the entertainment industry. She never married and had no children, spending much of her later life with her sisters in Florida. Reports suggested she battled alcoholism and depression, her once vibrant personality dimmed by loss and declining health. Deborah Lee Scott's life ended tragically early. On April 5, 2005, just 3 days after her 52nd birthday, she fell into a coma and passed away. Complications from cirrhosis of the liver, linked to years of heavy drinking, were believed to be the cause. The end was sudden and heartbreaking, a sharp contrast to the joy and laughter she had brought to audiences during her career. Today, Deborah Lee Scott is remembered as a gifted comedic actress whose life was marked by both laughter and sorrow, a woman who lit up screens with her humor, yet whose final years became a poignant story of grief and decline. Ted Ross, the iconic actor remembered for his unmistakable charisma, is best known to film audiences for his role in Police Academy 1984, where he briefly appeared as a stern authority figure whose no-nonsense demeanor clashed humorously with the cadets' antics. Born on June 30, 1934 in Zanesville, Ohio, Ross was nearly 50 years old when he joined the franchise. Though his appearance in Police Academy was relatively small compared to his other credits, it remains part of the colorful tapestry of his career. Ross had already made a name for himself on stage and screen long before Police Academy. He originated the role of the Cowardly Lion in Broadway's The Wiz, 1975, earning acclaim for his booming voice and larger-than-life presence. That same role brought him to film audiences in The Wiz, 1978, alongside Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. His career also featured appearances in Arthur 1981 and guest roles in television shows throughout the 1980s and 1990s. Despite his talent, he never quite achieved the leading man recognition that his early Broadway success had promised, which cast a shadow of disappointment over parts of his Hollywood journey. Financially, Ross's net worth at the height of his career was modest, estimated at around $1 to $2 million. Unlike many stars of his era, he did not secure vast fortunes, and his later years were marked by health struggles rather than financial expansion. He was known for keeping his personal life private. He never married publicly, nor had children, and his low-key lifestyle meant that he did not accumulate vast real estate holdings. The real tragedy of Ross's life came in his final years. After relocating to Dayton, Ohio, he largely stepped away from the spotlight. On September 3, 2002, he died from complications of a stroke at the age of 68. His passing was a quiet one, overshadowed by the brighter lights of Hollywood contemporaries. Today, he is remembered as a performer of great warmth and talent whose career never quite reached the heights. It might have a man whose legacy is bittersweet, filled with both the joy of unforgettable performances and the sadness of unfulfilled potential. Marion Ramsey, the beloved actress whose gentle voice and comedic timing became her signature, is best remembered for her role as Officer Laverne Hooks in the Police Academy, franchise 1984-1994. Born on May 10, 1947 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, she was 37 when she first stepped into the role. With her timid excuse-me delivery and sudden bursts of surprising authority, Ramsey's hooks became one of the series' most endearing and iconic characters, turning her into a fan favorite worldwide. Before Police Academy, Ramsey had a solid background in theater, appearing in Broadway's UBIP 1978, and working in television, including roles on Cause 1976 and guest appearances in various sitcoms. She also showcased her talents as a singer, which allowed her to balance stage and screen throughout her career. Despite this versatility, she never escaped being typecast after Police Academy, a limitation that prevented her from reaching the level of stardom her talent deserved. Her financial success remained modest compared to Hollywood A-listers, with her net worth at the time of her death estimated at around $1 million. Ramsey's life was marked by struggles in her later years, including declining health, which affected her ability to continue performing. While she kept her personal life private, it is known that she never married and had no children, leaving behind a legacy that was professional rather than familial. She did not hold significant real estate investments, instead living a more modest and private lifestyle. Tragedy struck on January 7, 2021, when Marion Ramsey died in Los Angeles after a brief but undisclosed illness at the age of 73. Her death shocked fans who had only seen her smiling and vibrant in reunion appearances and fan conventions years earlier. Ramsey's career was one of joy, but also quiet sadness, as the entertainment world never fully gave her the recognition she deserved. Today she is remembered as the gentle soul whose soft-spoken character could suddenly roar a performer, whose legacy lives on in every laugh she gave audiences across the globe. Doug Lennox, the Canadian actor and writer with a naturally commanding presence, is remembered by many for his tough guy roles in both film and television, including his appearance in Police Academy 1987, where at age 49 he embodied the kind of gruff character that audiences came to associate with him. Born on January 21, 1938 in Toronto, Ontario, Lennox began his career as a radio personality before transitioning into acting, eventually carving out a niche, playing villains, policemen, and authority figures, whose intensity made them stand out even in small roles. His filmography stretched across decades, with appearances in productions like X-Men 2000, The Incredible Hulk 2008, and the remake of RoboCop 2014. On television, he showed his range with roles in series such as Due South and Degrassi: The Next Generation. Yet, despite this steady stream of work, Lennox never rose to household name status, a professional frustration that underscored much of his career, as he was often typecast and denied the leading man recognition his talent might have warranted. Financially, Lennox lived comfortably but modestly, with an estimated net worth of $1 to $2 million at the time of his death. Beyond acting, he authored Now You Know, a successful trivia series that expanded his creative legacy beyond the screen. In his personal life, he was married, but he largely kept his family out of the public eye. He did not accumulate vast real estate holdings, preferring a relatively private existence that contrasted with the intensity of his on-screen persona. Doug Lennox's life closed on November 28, 2015 in Toronto, at the age of 77. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed, leaving fans with unanswered questions. His passing marked the end of a career defined by consistency and toughness, but also tinged with the melancholy of unrealized Hollywood stardom. Today he is remembered as a dependable character actor and storyteller, a man whose presence was always felt, even if his name was not always celebrated. George R. Robertson, the Canadian actor whose dignified presence became a staple of the Police Academy, films is best remembered for his role as Commissioner Henry Hurst, the exasperated yet good-hearted superior who guided and often scolded the unruly cadets from 1984 through much of the series' run. Born on April 20, 1933 in Brampton, Ontario, Robertson was 51 when he first stepped into the role, a performance that gave the franchise its much-needed touch of authority amid the chaos. Before his Police Academy fame, Robertson built a diverse career in film and television. He appeared in more than 80 productions, including significant roles in Airport, 1970, Norma Ray, 1979, and Oliver Stone's JFK, 1991. His ability to embody figures of authority often led to typecasting, a professional double-edged sword that brought steady work, but limited his range in the eyes of casting directors. While respected, he sometimes expressed frustration at being confined to supporting roles rather than the leads he aspired to. Financially, Robertson fared well compared to many of his contemporaries, with an estimated net worth of around $3.4 million. His career longevity combined with television work and voiceover roles gave him stability. Off-screen, he lived a fulfilling personal life, married with children, and later became deeply involved in philanthropy, especially supporting humanitarian and social causes in Canada. Unlike many actors of his generation, he avoided scandal, keeping his private life balanced and his reputation intact. Robertson's long journey came to an end on January 29, 2023, when he died at the age of 89. His passing was attributed to natural causes, closing the curtain on a career that spanned over 5 decades. Though he never became a Hollywood superstar, George R. Robertson is remembered as a steady, respected presence, both on screen and off, a man who lent authority to the absurd world of Police Academy, while living a life marked by compassion, discipline, and quiet dignity. Billy Bird, the sharp-tongued comedic actress with a grandmotherly charm, carved out a memorable spot in the Police Academy franchise when she appeared in Police Academy 4 Citizens on Patrol, 1987. Born on February 28, 1908 in Pocatello, Idaho, she was already 79 years old when she played Mrs. Feldman, the spunky senior citizen who joins the Citizens on Patrol program and proves that age is no barrier to mischief. Her role brought delightful comic relief, and audiences loved seeing her character defy expectations with boldness and wit. Before Police Academy, Bird had a long and varied career. She began in vaudeville during her youth and went on to appear in films like 16 Candles, 1984, where she played the forgetful grandmother, and Home Alone, 1990, where she charmed audiences as the sweet woman who befriends John Candy's character. She was also a familiar face on television, guest starring in shows like The Golden Girls and Mama's Family. Despite her frequent casting as a quirky or dotty grandmother, Bird's comedic timing made her unforgettable, often stealing scenes from younger co-stars. Her life off-screen was marked by both endurance and heartbreak. She was married to Edwin Selland for many years, and together they raised 3 children. However, Bird suffered the tragedy of outliving both her husband and one of her children, a painful reminder of her long life's difficulties. Financially, she lived comfortably in her later years, with an estimated net worth around $1 million accumulated through steady acting work. Still, she never enjoyed the wealth or recognition of Hollywood stars, often working into her advanced age to remain active and relevant. Billy Bird died on November 27, 2002 in Granada Hills, California, at the age of 94 from complications related to Alzheimer's disease. Her passing closed the chapter on a career that spanned over 6 decades. Though she never headlined a film, Bird's legacy is that of a scene stealer, an actress who could light up comedies with just a glance or a perfectly timed line. In Police Academy 4, she proved that even at nearly 80, she could outshine the chaos around her, leaving audiences smiling long after the credits rolled. Howard Hesseman, remembered as a quirky and offbeat presence in film and television, became an unexpected part of comedy history when he appeared in Police Academy 2, their first assignment 1985, as Captain Pete Lassard, the gentler and somewhat overwhelmed brother of Commandant Eric Lassard. Born on February 27, 1940 in Lebanon, Oregon, Hesseman was 45 years old when he stepped into the role. Though his screen time was limited, his character brought a softer counterbalance to the chaos of the recruits, leaving fans with a memorable impression in the otherwise raucous franchise. Before and after Police Academy, Hesseman had a long career, best known for his acclaimed role as Dr. Johnny Fever in WKRP in Cincinnati, 1978 and 1982, and later as Charlie Moore in Head of the Class, 1986-1990. These roles cemented him as a television icon. Yet his career was not without turbulence. He struggled to escape typecasting, and some projects he joined never reached the same level of success. Personal setbacks included 2 divorces before finding stability in his marriage to actress Caroline Ducroc. The absence of children was often noted a choice or circumstance that left him with a quieter personal legacy compared to his on-screen fame. Financially, Hesseman was moderately secure with an estimated net worth of around $5 million at the height of his career. He owned real estate in Los Angeles, though not on the scale of Hollywood's elite, and often lived more modestly than many of his contemporaries. Still, his offbeat humor and rebellious personality made him a countercultural figure, appealing to audiences who saw him as more authentic than polished stars. Sadly, Howard Hesseman's story closed on January 29, 2022, when he died from complications after colon surgery at the age of 81. His passing was felt as a loss not only for fans of Police Academy, but for television history, where his eccentric characters remain timeless. His life reflects both the peaks of comic stardom and the quieter, sometimes tragic realities of a man who never quite fit the Hollywood mold. Art Metrano, the brash comic actor best remembered for his role as the arrogant and power-hungry Ernie Moser in Police Academy 2, their first assignment, 1985, and Police Academy 3. Back in Training, 1986 became an unforgettable presence in the franchise. Born on September 22, 1936 in Brooklyn, New York, he was 48 years old when he first played Mauser, the scheming lieutenant who constantly clashed with the bumbling yet beloved recruits. His portrayal of Mauser with his inflated ego and slapstick misfortunes turned him into a fan-favorite villain, forever tying his name to the comedy cult classic. Metrano's career stretched far beyond Police Academy. He guest starred in popular series such as Bewitched Mod Squad, Starsky, and Hutch and All in the Family, and appeared in films like They Shoot Horses, Don't They, Beatus 1969. However, his career was struck by a devastating tragedy in 1989, when he fell from a ladder at his home, breaking several vertebrae and leaving him partially paralyzed. The accident was a life-altering event that ended his trajectory as a rising Hollywood character actor. Instead of retreating from the spotlight, Metrano transformed his struggle into inspiration, creating a one-man stage show called Metrano's Accidental Comedy, where he told his story with humor and resilience, earning admiration for his strength. Financially, his net worth was estimated around $1.52 million, modest by Hollywood standards, much of it tied to acting royalties and live performances. His personal life had its complications. He was married twice, first to Rebecca Shute, with whom he had children, and later to Marcia Metrano. Despite health battles and professional derailment, he remained close to his family and often credited them as his source of strength. Art Metrano passed away on September 8, 2021, just shy of his 85th birthday at his home in Aventura, Florida. The cause was natural, but his story carries a bittersweet tone, a man who found laughter amid pain, who rose from the brink of despair to inspire audiences. Though gone, his legacy lives in both his comedic villainy in Police Academy and his courage in facing tragedy with humor. Arthur Botanides, the veteran character actor with a knack for comedy, is best remembered by fans of the Police Academy films for his role as Mr. Kirkland, the anxious and bumbling civilian, who appears in Police Academy 3 Back in Training, 1986, and Police Academy 4 Citizens on Patrol, 1987. Born on April 9, 1922, in Tacoma, Washington. Botanides was 64 years old when he first stepped into the role. His portrayal of Kirkland, nervous, accident-prone, yet oddly endearing, added another layer of slapstick charm to the franchise, perfectly fitting the series' over-the-top comedic style. Before his Police Academy appearances, Botanides enjoyed a long career in television and film. He guest starred in countless shows, including The Twilight Zone, Mission Impossible, Star Trek, Perry Mason, and Happy Days. On the big screen, he appeared in movies such as The Last American Hero, 1973, and That Touch of Mink, 1962. Though rarely in leading roles, he was the definition of a working actor, reliable, versatile, and consistently in demand for over 3 decades. Yet, despite his steady career, stardom never fully arrived. Many of his projects went unnoticed, and he often found himself typecast as the awkward everyman or the jittery side character. Financially, he lived modestly with an estimated net worth of under $1 million, relying on steady character work rather than major Hollywood paydays. His private life remained quiet, with no major scandals or controversies, though his relative obscurity in an industry obsessed with fame and glamour was itself a quiet frustration. Arthur Botanides passed away on January 10, 2000 in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 77. The cause of death was natural. His passing went largely under the radar, a bittersweet reminder of how many character actors fade from public memory, despite enriching countless films and shows. Today, Botanides is fondly remembered by fans of Police Academy for his wonderfully neurotic Mr. Kirkland, as well as by TV buffs who recognize his face from dozens of classic shows. His legacy is that of a craftsman, an actor who, while never a household name, left behind a tapestry of memorable performances across American entertainment. Sandy Ward, the rugged character actor with a talent for playing gruff authority figures, made his mark in Police Academy 2. Their first assignment, 1985, where he portrayed Captain Reed, the no-nonsense police superior who oversaw the antics of the recruits. Born on July 12, 1926 in Alamosa, Colorado, Ward was 58 years old when he appeared in the film. His stern demeanor and booming presence gave credibility to the otherwise over-the-top comedy, making him a reliable foil in the chaos of the Academy's misfits. Ward's acting career began later in life, and he built a resume filled with memorable supporting roles. He appeared in films such as The Rose, 1979, Blue Thunder, 1983, and Airport, 1975-1974, and worked extensively in television with guest spots on Dallas Hill Street Blues and Kojak. Though rarely in the spotlight, he embodied the classic tough guy archetype, lending realism to action and drama, while occasionally flexing his comedic timing. Behind the camera, his life was far less glamorous. Ward never reached leading man status, and many of his projects went unnoticed, leading to periods of professional frustration. Financially, he lived modestly with an estimated net worth of under $1 million, much of it earned through steady character roles rather than major paychecks. His private life remained quiet. He avoided scandals and kept details about relationships and family largely hidden from the public eye. Tragedy, however, struck in his later years as his health declined. Ward died on March 6, 2005 in Orange County, California, at the age of 78 from natural causes. His passing received little media attention, a bittersweet ending for a man who had lent his talent to so many productions without ever becoming a household name. Today, Sandy Ward is remembered as a dependable actor who brought grit and authority to every role, especially as Captain Reed in Police Academy. Though his career lacked the glamour of Hollywood stardom, his body of work stands as a quiet legacy of a craftsman who gave his best to the screen, even if fame never fully followed. Which character from Police Academy, 1984-1994, holds a special place in your heart? How does it make you feel, knowing that the beloved cast members are no longer with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments below. If you've been enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.